Good evening, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Happy Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. Woo, 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 woo. I'm hoping my live will be back up. I'm going to have a live this Saturday to commemorate my live coming back, guys. So please tune in. I'm going to start advertising and everything. Yes, so let me get right to it. Prince Harry visited Ukraine. Wow. He came to Europe, for those of you who may not have heard, for the Ravec appeal hearing, which took everybody completely by surprise, including the royal rota. They are still salty and pissed about it. So you can imagine their annoyance and irritation when they found out that Prince Harry went to Ukraine. Oh my God. Prince Harry went to Ukraine, y'all. Yeeks. So this was announced from this particular website. Prince, I think it's called the Euromaidan Press. You know they are very upset about this. Anyway, Prince Harry arrived in, I can't pronounce this, Viv, a western part of Ukraine, and visited the Superhuman Center on 10 April, according to a source from Euromaidan Press. The details of the visit have not been disclosed, nor has any information about his arrival. For those of you who don't remember, early in February 2025, Prince Harry met the superheroes CEO Olha Rudneva at the Invictus Games in Canada. She presented Harry with a bracelet from the rehabilitation center. Now, sorry, here's a quote. Now Prince Harry has a superhumans bracelet created by Guzima for all the center's ambassadors, which bears the prince's initials and the inscription, whoever saves one life saves the whole world. I think that's beautiful, guys. And I think it's honestly a testament to the enduring philanthropic, which is now growing to be a very big thing, Invictus Games. I think I mentioned it before. Prince Harry is the only member of the royal family in modern times that has done something philanthropic that we can all continue to feel the impact of. Besides the Centibele, which we all know that Willie and Willie. Let me blame William. William has tried to sabotage using that clown, Sophie Chandoka, but she will not prevail. By the time the Charity Commission comes out with their reports and their findings, Chandoka will be humiliated. And honestly, I look forward to it. I will drag her. So yeah, I think this is just an enduring and wonderful thing from Prince Harry. Very proud of him, very proud of this good thing he continues to do for veterans all over the world who, let's be honest with ourselves, everybody likes to say, let's give veterans their respect. But do they really? They don't take care of them. They don't give them housing. They don't help them rehabilitate after the trauma of war. They don't give them places to stay. I heard in America, quite a lot of veterans are living on the street. They are homeless. They are struggling from crippling PTSD. They don't have access to good any type of health care, and it's crazy. I mean, in this country, at least from the small things I've seen, when you apply for jobs, they always tend to prioritize veterans. They ask in the application process, are you an ex-serviceman? And then I think they do that because they want to give you that priority. In the UK, I do know that there are certain things that we give our servicemen. Am I saying it's enough? No, not at all. If you went to war, if you worked in the admin, if you've contributed in one way or another to protect your country from harm, if you put your life on the line for queen and country, you should get something. You should get compensation. You should get some sort of respect every time you go somewhere. Personally, you should eat for free. You should eat for free. You should be able to get free housing, especially if you were injured in the spirit of war and combat. You should get free housing. You should get free medical care. You should get just about anything you want, because this is not something that anybody can do. And many of them lose body limbs and their minds really doing this. So I think the fact that society doesn't give them the respect they deserve is a disgrace, frankly. So it's very nice to see that Harry's legacy, the Invictus Games, endures above politics, above what you and I think, above everything. So I say, if his presence in some way has brought people comfort, injured servicemen and their families comfort, good on you, Harry, and you deserve all the praise you should be getting from your family, frankly. But since your father is a petty little bee and your brother is a joke, Well, and the British press is a mess because we all know that the only reason they are pressed about this is not because they want to actually promote the cause of Invictus. We all know and we all saw what ITV did during the Invictus games, and we all know and we all saw how nobody in the British press spoke a word about the Invictus games, only gossiping about Meghan's clothes and what they and the mistakes they thought Meghan made. Nothing about the fact that he was here doing good for servicemen. Shows how useless the press is, and honestly it's a continuing indictment. I keep on saying that if Harry can move the Invictus games out of Birmingham in the next few years, I hope he is able to. I really hope he is able to, because this country has treated this man abominably, if for nothing else, as an ex-serviceman himself. The way the government has allowed him to be treated, the way the media treats him, the way his father allows him to be treated is shocking and evil. His father is a wimp. His father is a twerp. His brother is useless, and honestly, to me, there aren't enough insults to rain down on these people. Harry, we love you. Right. So I wasn't going to post this because I saw it yesterday. I didn't want to give these people any clicks. But I thought, you know what? Let me do one better. I would, instead of posting the actual article itself, which I was able to archive and which I was able to get the archived version. Shout out to the squaddy. But I thought, let me just quickly play the video. So shout out to Selwa. And you see what they did here with Meghan's jam. They managed to get their hands on it and decided to do a taste test. And I think the thing that really irritated me about this, if you read the article, was they actually came in saying, oh, we were hoping not to like it, but, we liked it in the end. And I'm like, why you? That's a good thing. You were hoping to be a hater and you're upset that you didn't get to be a hater. These people are acting like teenagers. These people are acting in a way that you would advise young children not to behave. If you don't like something, why are you engaging with it? It's like the British press. The more you think about it, the more you listen to them, the more petty and nasty they just seem. Because what is this? But I'll play it though, so let's react to it.
Don't like the texture. Doesn't taste like nothing at all. I think this one is my favorite.
Quite nice, bright kind of jam flavour. Feels like slightly thicker. This is more of a serious jam, I think. But I have absolutely no idea. So this is a lot tartar, a lot more, a bit more fruity. It's got a bit more of a zing to it. I think this is my favourite. This one I feel like I'm nosing around in Montecito. Yeah, in a raspberry bush.
I quite like that one. I think that one's my favourite.
That jam is very nice. I really like jam number 3. It's got more of a wild berries kind of taste. It doesn't have one flavour. It's kind of complex.
I think Meghan's is this one.
I think number 3 is Meghan's.
I reckon this is the Duchess jam.
I think Meghan Markle's jam is jam number 3.
Like I said, we didn't really get anything from this nonsense. It's just, again, because they were engagement chasing, because that's what newspapers are doing now. They are no longer interested in doing what they were intended to do, which is journalism. They are chasing clicks. They are full online and just trying to get people outraged. And it's really shocking, frankly, really shocking that people that call themselves journalists are doing this, because what is this? Anyway, I just wanted to react. I don't have anything to say. They're all losers and they're not worth our time. Right, so we've already spoken about Harry. I wanted to respond to this lovely article by Feminegra, which I will link for you guys to review. And I think it's a nice little roundup of Meghan's podcast and how it's doing in the charts. And of course, the salty critics are not happy about it. So let's react. Meghan's Confessions of a Female Founder takes over podcast charts. Meghan Sussex has once again defied her critics, and it's pissing them off. Her new podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, debuted on April 8, 2025, and has already climbed up the charts of the multiple podcast charts. The series, produced in production with Lemonada Media centers on candid conversations between Meghan and prominent female entrepreneurs through honest discussions about burnout, resilience, and reinvention. The show taps into the global appetite for business stories that feel personal and relatable. Audiences responded instantly, and the numbers back it up. And I want to also add, people also want female-led podcasts about business. What are your struggles? What have you gone through? And it's nice that she got someone like Whitney Heard, who was the youngest billionaire in history. And I think one thing I forgot to mention when I reacted to it the other time was, did you notice that Whitney and Meghan said they met at a party that Harry and Meghan threw in Montecito? I keep telling you that Meghan is very savvy, extremely savvy. She understands the power of networking. I think what happened is when Harry and Meghan landed in Montecito, because of how close and how private that community is, because it's not just them living there. I'm sure there are lots of CEOs that live there, lots of celebrities, media people who chose that environment not only for its beauty but for its privacy, so they can have something close to resembling a normal life for themselves and their family. And what Meghan and Harry did, I think, was the party that she met Whitney in was probably one of those many events they threw exclusively for specific members of Montecito community to try and build that rapport, to build that relationship, to build that network, really. And when you think about the fact that Harry and Meghan, despite the stupid nonsense from the critics, have been able to survive in that, not only in that society, build friendships in that community, as we saw on Meghan's show, it's because they networked. It's because they didn't just come there and stay on their own and not engage with their community. People have said it numerous times. They see Harry biking, you see Harry walking out. Sorry, you see Meghan having brunch with friends. You see her making friends. You see her hanging out, engaging with the community. This is exactly how you do it. And notice how nothing has ever leaked. None of the friends she's made there have ever leaked anything to anyone. We don't know what her kids look like. We don't know what her friends' kids look like. It's that kind of mutual respect of, okay, look, you can trust us. We will keep you safe. And we too will keep your secrets. And you know what? That's fantastic. I am glad that Harry and Meghan have been able to find that community. And I can tell that it's a very closed community, because if you recall, when Meghan's show came out, there was this idiot, that they forced that poor man to travel all the way to Montecito. He found some British MAGA fan that was talking nonsense about, how he sees Harry all the time on his bike, but he rarely sees Meghan. So it just goes to show that even within that Montecito community, they are still extremely careful who they invite into their circle. Like during Meghan's with Love Meghan, at the end of her show, when she was like, when she was having that party, celebrating it with friends and family, you could tell these were her genuine circle. So honestly, good for them. I'm glad they were able to build that society where they protect each other. I'm glad they found a way to, engage with their neighborhood and keep each other safe. And honestly, I think that's a fantastic thing. And I think the more of her, and I think not only has it helped them maintain a family unit, a friendship unit, and get their privacy, it's also helped her in business. Because I keep on telling you guys, these CEOs, these female women that she's hanging out with, these are not just some random Joes. These are people who are business women and men in their own right. Don't forget that Harry and Meghan were invited to the One Love premiere in Jamaica by Meghan's friend, who happens to be the wife of the head of Paramount. The British media was talking nonsense and saying that Meghan and Harry were shopping for other deals. I think it was just genuinely a case of her friend invited her and Harry. And because that's the way wealthy people move, they all went together. So you know what? Good for them. I'm very happy for them. I'm glad to see her building these networks, inviting people like Whitney for drinks so that they can help each other out. And I look forward to seeing who else she's going to feature in her podcast and how they met each other, because I think that's really inspiring as well. When we talk about female businesses, the idea of networking and working together, you can't build alone. You need to involve people. You need to let people in. So yeah, sorry for going off on that tangent. I just wanted to share. Let's continue. Meghan's podcast climbed to the top. As of April 10th, Confessions of a Female Founder soared to number 1 position in Apple's podcast business category in both Canada and the United States. It reached number 4 on Apple's top shows across all categories, competing with legacy brands like The Daily and Mel Robbins' podcast. On Spotify, it landed at number 2 among US business podcasts and debuted at number 24 on the overall top podcast chart. These rankings weren't driven by hype or guest star gimmicks. Meghan's name drew attention, but the content earned engagement. Exactly. This idea, which is what the British press keep on doing to undermine and dismiss Meghan's appeal, is, oh, Meghan, people don't genuinely care about Meghan. They're only here for Harry. That hefty ass Jobson said it today when he was like, they strategically planned Meghan's podcast with when Harry would be in the US. And I'm like, it's a weekly podcast over the next 8 weeks. Are you sure about that? This refusal to accept that people are genuinely interested in Meghan with or without Harry is baffling to me, because the numbers say it. The numbers say when Meghan's show got to top 10 all over the world, people only watched it because they wanted to see if Harry would be in it. No, they watched it because they wanted to watch Meghan. When Meghan's has ever dropped, okay, what's the excuse? When did they buy everything in 1 hour because they were hoping they could smell Harry on it? The hell is wrong with you people? Again, this refusal to accept that Meghan, whether you like it or not, whether you think she would have been popular with or without Harry, right now she is popular, and she is popular in her own right. Cry more. Listeners responded to the first episode featuring Bumble founder Whitney Wolfe Herd, where both women opened up about the mental toll of entrepreneurship. They discussed media scrutiny, toxic work cycles, and the effort it takes to rebuild your sense of self while running a company. The tone is introspective but grounded, reflective but focused on real-world experience. In a space dominated by business bros, exactly, and startup cliches, Meghan's perspective clearly resonates. Exactly. Critics were ready to hate it before they listened. Of course they were. Despite the podcast chart performance, some media outlets reacted with contempt. Reviews from The Guardian, The Times, and The Telegraph dismissed the series as shallow and sycophantic. What? These critics offered little analysis of the show's actual content. Instead, they recycled the same tired complaints, accusations of ego, flattery, and irrelevance that have followed Meghan since she left the royal life. What these outlets fail to acknowledge is their own lack of objectivity. Exactly. Their coverage of Meghan has long been characterized by hostility. For many of these critics, the podcast content is almost irrelevant. The goal is to undermine her credibility regardless of what she produces. That pattern is transparent as it is tired. Exactly, guys. This is why I was telling you that it gets to a point where reacting to Meghan's critics is now kind of boring. And I'll tell you why. Because Meghan is winning. It was easy to defend her when she wasn't speaking up for herself, whether she intended it or not. And it was nice and good and almost cathartic to drag these idiots. But now, even when I listen to them, I'm like, because the numbers, my dear, don't lie. Kendrick said it perfectly. You can't fake influence, right? Despite whatever nonsense you haters say, Meghan is relevant. I posted earlier today RNN Gummy embarrassing herself by claiming that she was a royal commentator. She's not. Meghan was, Gummy was one of the people that managed to get Meghan's products. I want you to think about this again. Many hardcore fans were not able to get Meghan's products, but Gummy was. That is how focused she was on that bloody website. She must have been refreshing it every second for her to be able to snap it up as soon as it came out. She probably didn't even sleep. That is not the behavior of somebody who is well. That is psycho. That is psychopathy. She's crazy. And you say you hate someone and you dedicate that much effort. You say you hate someone, you fly all the way from wherever you are in bumfuck USA, all the way to London. Why? For someone that you barely saw? That's psycho behavior, ladies and gentlemen. And you're saying that this woman is irrelevant? People don't do this for someone who isn't relevant, love. They don't do it for someone that is not important and powerful and impactful. Anyway, This isn't new. The media pulled the same stunt with their Netflix show. Ooh, that was when I knew that, okay, they're wasting their time. The rush to dismiss Meghan's work echoes what happened just 1 month earlier. With her Netflix series with Love Meghan premiering in March 4th, I can't believe it's already April, outlets like The Variety and The Guardian launched coordinated attacks before any viewing public data had been released. Daniel Daddario called the show an ego trip, while Guardian ran a headline suggesting Meghan should kiss the Netflix deal goodbye. I remember that was so funny. The Sun falsely claimed that the show had flopped and would be axed. But the facts did not match their narrative. Netflix confirmed the second season less than a week after the premiere. The news exposed the smear campaign for what it was, speculative fiction dressed up as journalism. Exactly. These outlets didn't wait for evidence. They wrote the ending they wanted and hoped the audience would believe it. The audience are choosing Meghan over media gatekeepers. I agree. The strategy failed. Exactly. It didn't work. People are watching the show, and people who may not have watched it as soon as it came out are watching it. And like I keep on telling you, you can't fake influence. The reactions are fair. I'm not saying that a lifestyle show is for everyone. Nobody is saying you must like it. But how do you pan a show before the show airs? Before people get to watch it? And I want to also ask something to what she said. They intentionally panned the show because they were under this delulu that they could force Netflix to cancel it. I won't forget that on The Sun, Matt Wilkinson was kind of hoping him and that idiot, Bironi, and that old ballsack, Arthur Edwards, they were all saying, oh, there's no possibility Netflix will give us a season 2. They will look at all these criticisms that they were expecting because they aren't stupid and cancel the show. So that's why I was telling you guys, if you recall, I was like, it was shocking to see nobody in the rota said anything for more than a week after the second season was confirmed. You could tell they couldn't believe it. After all this effort, it was a waste of time. They were clearly shocked because no one saw that coming. I love that for them. Anyway, the strategy failed. Audiences didn't just tune in, they stayed. Meghan's success with Confessions of a Female Founder proves people are making up their own mind. Yep. While critics obsess over framing her as a failed brand, real listeners are engaging with her message. Her podcasts speak directly to women navigating business, identity, and ambition in a world that still undervalues them. The audience Meghan is building for, not tabloid editors or professional cynics. Podcast charts reflect listener behavior, not editorial spin. The numbers show that Meghan's platform continues to grow. Even as legacy media tries to pretend it doesn't matter, the podcast's rise is not just a win for her, it's a quiet rejection of the narrative that only institutions can define success. Final thoughts. Meghan Sussex didn't need approval from the press to reach the top of the podcast chart. She needed a microphone, a story, and an audience willing to listen. Confessions of a Female Founder is more than a strong debut. It marks a shift in who gets to shape the conversation and who the audience chooses to trust. Thank you. As always, Feminegra, I'll post this link for you guys. If you guys have not signed up for her newsletter, what are you waiting for? Please sign up for her. I'll post the link. But yeah, it's kind of something to say to the wider media narrative. They keep on, and something that I said before, the British media keep on forgetting that this was not the 60s. This is not Diana's time when you could fix narratives or fake stories. Thanks to the introduction of independent media, people choosing to react to media on their own terms, the celebrities themselves using social media to engage directly with their audience. That is all they need. I told you guys, in less than 3 months, 4 months, Meghan has literally undone years of an entire business model that has profited from hating on her. Everything they report now is retrospective. Everything they report now is after the fact, and it defeats all their narratives. And this is why she will continue to be successful, because people have started waking up. People said Meghan's show was going to flop, getting a season 2. People said Meghan's podcast was bad. For those of us who listened, loved it. And if you look at the comments on Spotify, they're very good because that's what I use. I know, don't fight me. I've been using it for years. And yeah, for anybody who is new to Meghan and you're not sure where you stand, make up your own mind. Engage with this content. If you like her, great. If you don't like her, nothing anybody is going to say is going to change your mind. But all I ask is, the British media has a determination that they want to destroy this woman, and they are trying to send a message to the world that the only way you get to succeed is on our terms. And by letting her succeed despite their vitriol, we are beginning to break the power of the British media, not just against Meghan and Harry, but against the royal family as well, because we don't know what the future holds for William's kids. Maybe because history repeats itself in a family of trauma. And I really believe that there's a Harry coming up again who might want to make a choice for him or herself. And if they can see what Harry and Meghan have gone through and feel motivated to keep going, frankly, I think it's great. And one last article that I really wanted to read about, the tech crunch. Like I said, it's very inspirational that we are seeing Meghan being featured on proper business and tech platforms. Like she gave an article to Fortune talking about the impact of Trump tariffs on her business. That's incredible. It's incredible that a royal woman with a business is getting asked these types of questions. No other person in the family is being taking this seriously. And I think this is their media strategy. It's not just the gossips on the celebrity. She's trying to establish herself as a serious businesswoman. She is a serious businesswoman, and I'm glad that they've chosen outlets that showcase that. Now, this is TechCrunch. Meghan has made another angel investment. Meghan Sussex is stepping further into the world of business and entrepreneurship. In an interview with Fortune, Meghan revealed that she is an angel investor in the healthcare company Midi, which provides a virtual platform to treat women experiencing menopause and other health-related concerns. She joined the company's $63 million Series B round last year, a source close to the matter told TechCrunch. Other investors in that round included names like Lauren Power Jobs' Emerson Collective, Tory Burch, and the firm G9 Ventures per PitchBook. Meghan has been building up her angel portfolio since relocating to the US 5 years ago, cutting checks into sectors like consumer, fintech, edtech, spanning early stage to Series C. Her focus is on companies with at least one female founder, the source said, and her portfolio has more than 10 companies, including beverage company Clever and wellness company Highbrow Hippie. So that's my point, guys. The media can keep on attacking her because it suits their narrative. The media can keep coming after her, but the numbers don't lie. This is a very intelligent businesswoman. She's taking all that money and she's investing. And let me tell you something. I will be here when, as ever, either she goes into IPO or she sells it to a major brand for billions. I will be here. And we will all react together while the British press will be crying in their tears. Meghan, continue to shine your light. You are an inspiration to black women, to non-white women. And frankly, I admire you. And I think we can all be inspired by her. And it's not just non-black or black women. And it's not just black or non-white women. Everybody can be inspired by this woman's strength, resilience, and her ability to ignore the noise and just get on with it. Please let me know your thoughts and your comments. Please like, subscribe, and share. Please engage with this content so that we can grow our audience. And yeah, what do you think? Are you guys also feeling that listening to the press say terrible things about Meghan is not hitting anymore? Because like we said, the numbers speak for themselves. So yeah, please let me know your thoughts. Take care and have a good one.